Plaintiff Lois Hayes says when she was 11, she started dating a 34-year-old man who turned her on to drugs. Lois says she was a full-blown crack addict by age 12, and now she's worried about her son, the defendant, who turned to gangs and drugs when he was just 12. Lois is suing her son today for 3 bail bonds. Defendant William Mann says Lois left him with his father when he was 9 months old, and that's who raised him. When William was 12, his father passed away, and William started acting out. And at age 18, he was in the county jail, and Lois was in the city jail, so they reconnected. He's countersuing for an Xbox.
Start with you.
Your Honor, first I would like to say that I love my son William very much. To give you a little background about myself, at 11 years old, I started dating a man that was 23 years older than I.
How old was it that? How does that make him? 30-something?
34.
And you were 11?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
He sold drugs. At 11 years old, I started snorting powder cocaine, and by 12, I had a full-fledged crack addiction.
Did your parents know? Were they alive?
My mother was fully aware, yes, sir.
Why didn't she intervene?
I can't say why, Your Honor, but she did condone it and let it go on.
Was she a crack addict too, first?
She snorted powder cocaine, yes, sir.
All right. So she must have snorted all the time, like 24 hours.
Actually, she was a registered nurse, and she did not do it all the time, so I have no excuse as to why she let it go on.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, by the age of 18, I gave birth to William, and I married, the man that was older than I was, and we divorced 6 months after we married, and I continued to party, and my ex-husband and his family raised William. I was in and out of William's life, and William would be a totally different man today if I had been there to be a part of his life.
At least you acknowledge that.
Your Honor, since my husband died, William has turned to gangs and drugs.
When was that?
He was 12, and he's been in and out of juvenile.
What was it like for him prior to that? Prior to the father dying, what was it like? That's from age 1 to 12. He was a good kid?
Your Honor, he was a genius. When I tell you we are looking at a very intelligent man.
Okay.
When it comes to books, he's got it. When it comes to common sense, he has not a lick of it.
I'm talking about his behavior from 1 to 12. I was told I was smart as a kid, but I was a terrorizer in my behavior. So
he was not. But Your Honor, I was not there every day with him. I saw him maybe 3 or 4 times a year up until he was 18.
Okay, and your husband wasn't telling you that he had bad behavior?
Yes, that's correct.
He never did?
They never said that.
All right, good enough. So you have no knowledge of bad behavior prior to his dad's death. All right. Sir. You give me some background, young man.
All right. I was 18 the first time I got to know my mother. Like she said, she left me with her ex-husband when I was 9 months old. I didn't have necessarily the average home life. I lived with my dad till I was 12, then he passed. Like she said, once he passed, I started going downhill.
Prior to that, had you had any behavioral problems?
Small.
Okay, you hadn't been kicked out every 6 months. That's
play football, play basketball.
You can get to paddle every week?
I got to paddle every now and then, but no, not every week.
At school or whatever I'm referring to. All right. I got to paddle every week and kicked out every 6 months. Kicked out of 5 different schools permanently, including 3 high schools permanently. My mother had to move to another school district for me to be able to go to the high school from which I dropped out and went to jail. But nonetheless, I say all that to say, doesn't sound like he was problematic or he had many behavioral problems, if any at all.
I was in and out of William's life, and William would be a totally different man today if I had been there to be a part of his life.
At least you acknowledge that.
Your Honor, since my husband died, William has turned to gangs and drugs.
When was that?
He was 12.
Plaintiff Lois Hayes is suing her son, who she claims turned to gangs and drugs when he was just 12 years old.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of went astray after my father passed. Anyway, I was in and out of jail. When I was 18, I was in the county jail. She was in the city jail.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at that. But y'all were competing? Go ahead.
Even though I wasn't there, he still takes after me.
Go ahead.
Okay, so she started writing me letters, saying that she was gonna buy me out when she got out. And I didn't believe, I had no reason to.
Okay, now you're getting into the details of the case she's suing you about, bail bond. So we're going to go back and allow her to tell me what happened there. But where did he go after age 12?
To his Aunt Donna. She gained legal
You were
guardianship.
still smoked out?
Shoot, yes.
Did he ever live with you?
I got clean almost 5 years ago. And yes.
All right, so tell me about the bond. At least you've been clean 5 years consistently. You give that impression to me. You led off saying the things that sound like you're committed and that you have been committed. So I congratulate you on your recovery. I believe that. I believe that. All right, and so tell me about the bond.
Your Honor, on 11 of the year 11, he was arrested for theft of property and burglary. Now, his aunt let him sit in there, and like he told you, I was writing him letters when I was in the city and he was in the county. And I explained to him that when I got out, that I would get him out. So when I was released, I went on 5/3 and gave $1,000 to his aunt to go and get him out of jail. 5 weeks later, he reoffended while on bond and acquired another charge with a bond of $15,000 for burglary. This time he broke into a detective's house.
Lord have mercy. Go ahead.
Your
all
Honor,
those times, what was the last bond? I'm surprised they let him out.
oh, well, the judge called him back in September. And the detective was there whose home he had invaded, and the judge revoked his bond. At that point, $2,000 had been put down. So the judge
Has he ever agreed to pay you?
He agreed to pay me back $100 a month, and starting at the first 1,000.
Give me that month and year.
5/3 of 12.
Okay. May of 12. And how much has he paid you?
Not one dime.
All right, sir. What do you say to this?
I say that isn't true. I don't owe her. I felt as if, it was a gift. She never stated that I needed to repay her when she gave me the money. And honestly, I'm actually disgusted that she's suing me for money she gave me after 18 years of absence in my life. I figure 18 years raising a child, you spend way more than $3,000.
How long are you gonna play that out? 40, 50? You can use that excuse forever, man. Come on. You've been out here on the street burglarizing folks, and that's what you've been saying to yourself? I'm a burglarizer. My mama wasn't in my life for 18 years. So what are you saying to yourself when you do that? Tell me about those burglaries.
When I burglarize?
Is that her too?
No, it's not her.
Okay,
Sir.
so tell me about that.
I would say that it was, I ain't gonna say it's because of poverty or because I was in poverty, but yet I didn't have any money, Your Honor, and I wanted some.
Okay.
So I made a bad decision.
There you go. Say that. All
Right.
right. So at least you're admitting that, you were broke, you were fatherless and motherless, and so you did what a lot of folks who aren't being raised by their parents do when they don't have money. And you never agreed to pay. You have any evidence? I see you got something in your hand right
yes,
there.
Your Honor, I have 3 written statements. 2 of the 3 are from his 2 aunts.
All right. Who did you force to write these? And you never agreed. She ever asked you for money? to repayment?
No,
This
sir.
is the first time you heard it today.
You know that
Hold
it's
on,
not
ma'am.
her.
This is the
Yes.
first time you heard it today.
Not until she got mad at me
About what?
and broke my video game.
About what?
Because I wouldn't talk to her after I got off
All
work.
right, then. So first time she asked you is when she broke your video game. When was that? And that's your counterclaim. When did she break your video game?
I don't have an exact date. Sir.
Season, year.
About 2 months ago.
Okay, there you go. Ma'am, how often did you ask him for this money? You gave him the money in 2012. Why are you just not bringing him to court?
Your Honor, he was in prison 3 of those years.
Makes sense. All right, sir. Let me leave. Why you make a fool out of me? Yeah, you got quiet all of a sudden now. I've either made a fool out of me. I witnessed Joe give man $3,000 to pay on William. He verbally agreed to pay her back $100 a month. This is Charlotte. I'm not going to say Charlotte's last name. These are relatives?
His aunts.
Okay. You get along with your aunt, Charlotte? You get along with her? How about your Aunt Donna? You get along with her? Sure. All right. And Kelly says she was there on each occasion. For every dime she was there.
That's my best friend.
That's a pretty big coincidence. So every single 3 times when he went to jail, coincidentally, she was there. Was she had a premonition and said, I better go comfort her because her son is about to go to jail again.
No,
so I better go over there because it's about to happen. Something just told me.
Plaintiff Lois Hayes is suing her son, who she claims turned to gangs and drugs when he was just 12 years old.
Did you damage his Xbox?
Your Honor, he called me the B word, and I pushed past him and got that Xbox and lifted as far over my head as I could get it and slammed it on the ground as hard as I could.
All right, she just won her case, even though she said the wrong thing, even though she admits to breaking the law. That's malicious destruction of somebody else's property. You win today because I have to decide who's telling the truth. She has 3 witness statements, wasn't really sure whether I believed all 3. You have nothing. And on the other hand, when she tells me about this Xbox, she's very honest. Yeah, I broke the law. I didn't care if they sent me to jail. He could do whatever he wanted to do. But if he cursed me, that's going to happen each and every time. Person that says that, they're telling the truth. $3,000 is your judgment. $300 is yours. She admits to damaging your Xbox. Have a good day.
Good job. It's excellent.
I love my son with all my heart. I can't make up for the past, but we can have a beautiful future.
I would agree. Most definitely.